to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia Joi.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia Joi.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick
every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's during the week, homie. The Roy
every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
tap in
before we gotta
tap
talk.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? Hey. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia Joi.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia Joi.
Welcome to the Roy.
What it do? What it do? What it do? This is comedian Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. I always say comedian Roy Anthony because, you know, I'm known in the public as a stand-up comedian. What we do on our show, on the Roy Anthony Show with my co-stars, Big Hank, Cynthia Joi. Cynthia Joi has an aquatic therapy going on, and she may not be back until after the 11 o'clock hour on her side because she's in Colorado and she's been in aquatic therapy. They pushing her harder and harder. You know, as you know, Cynthia Joi was a survivalist of a stroke, and she has been fighting the odds tremendously and being an uplift to others who's been in major ailments, health afflictions, and she calls it survivalists. So she probably be, if she doesn't show up, that's because she's going through aquatic therapy. Big Hank could be popping up soon. I'm Roy Anthony. The show is based on the WO platform under the WO Entertainment, which was created to bring awareness to how our military veterans, active and retired, commit suicides on a daily rate. We pride ourselves on our show of being able to bring up conversations that others can, you know, probably have a hesitancy of talking about. And then when people find that they're not by themselves in the way of thinking, it makes them, you know, feel a little less stressful. You know, when people seem to commit suicide, is that they are depressed and feeling isolated from everyone else. But we pride ourselves being able to tackle conversations where some people will find that we all have something in common, and we just got to keep on moving. And the WO, which was created by Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose, along with our social producer Blue Phoenix, Ethan Daly, our sponsor Matthew Brooks, our good neighbors that's in line and associated with us. We love them, they love us. As the BV Nation, that's the Backwoods Veterans based out of Oregon. Then we have the VRS, the Veteran Radio Syndicate, based out of Ohio area. Then the Long Beach All Stars, which is based out of Long Beach, California, along with the affiliated cities of Compton and Linwood, along with the Long Beach area. Then we have the WO Entertainment family, which is based all over the United States and other countries. Then we have our own family, friends, associates, and those who don't even like us, but oh well, you know what I'm saying? So I'm Roy Anthony, and as we've been saying that if you been paying attention to our show, we've really been working on our studio and to bring more want to bring more things to our, what can I say, more gifts and ideas and projects. So what we ask for, if you can donate $1, minimum $1, any amount you would like to, you can cash app it at $Roy Anthony 562, or you can PayPal it, which goes to Juicy J. That's at JUUCEJOI. That all comes down to our page, our platform, and helping us accomplish more of the things that we're trying to do. As you see, sometimes we're all in different parts of the United States, but we're trying to make sure that we have our set studio as well. Wait a minute, one of my co-stars just popped in. What's up with you, Big Hank? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good. Roy, what's happening, baby? You doing all right?
Oh man, I'm blessed, bro. I cannot complain. Um, um, Cynthia Joy texts me. She's now in the middle of she's taking aquatic therapy.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So she told me that she won't be in probably until after 11. Well, with the times went back, spring went forward. Sunday has been making a lot of people off the time schedule and everything, and so she said, give her excuse, excuse her day. So how you been doing, bro?
I've been awesome, man. Been awesome, awesome, awesomeness. Yes,
Hey
sir.
man, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been having this like butterflies in my stomach when there's certain things is happening now.
Yeah.
um I was trying to see if I'm gonna be able to fly back out Saturday night or Sunday morning, because I had two shows obligated this coming Friday and Saturday
Okay.
in parts of Missouri I have never been.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm in Hamilton, Missouri Friday, and I was going to go under there. I know Richie has it under the WO page, so I'm going over into there. But I have a show Friday and one show Saturday, and I had to bring this up. I think this is, man, I have these pictures taken, and he gonna grab this picture that I had, and they, is some of the same folks like Dean. Remember they was teasing me about the words and stuff.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
called it that. He said Roy's wearing his mirror. What he say? The Marion Barium suit.
Not Marion Barry suit.
No, yeah, he called it the Marion Barium suit.
Okay. All right.
But that's this Friday. They had this in Tapu Panda. You met Tapu when we had that shot that one the video, the not the video, but the for the movie, this movie screener. We shot
Okay.
over at Big Ski's house.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Taco Pond.
Yeah. And Red Richie, and I'm just hosting. But
Okay.
then the next night they had this one, and I don't know why he keeps using the same stupid picture Friday and Saturday. People gonna be thinking like, man, what the world, right? I got some updated pictures though.
Cool. Cool. Hey, what's the trip, man? I'm doing a show Thursday night. You doing one Friday and Saturday. And then we both doing the thing at the church on Sunday. I mean, if you make it back, you know.
Yeah, and I want everyone to know is that St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church on the west side of Long Beach is having Men's Day.
Yes.
This is on the 19th.
Uh,
So
yeah, I think that's the 19th.
March
Yeah.
19th, right?
Yeah.
The days
Sunday.
are 14, 15, 16,
Sunday.
17, 18, 19. Yeah, 19th is Sunday. Um, those whose men, seeing other men, how they relate in church and stuff, one of the things I like about St. Luke's because we got more men in the
Mm-hmm.
church. And sometimes you go to services and they have nothing but ladies.
Nothing but ladies in the
Yeah,
church. Yeah.
you
Be
know,
one man up there preaching.
if one man preaching, his army of flocks is nothing but women.
Yeah.
We got the men up in the house,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and so it was Men's Day, and if I'm pressing to get there,
Okay, Roy, you know it ain't no thing, man. If you don't make it, you don't make it. But I got you. You know I got you if you don't.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say, look, I've enjoyed me and Big Hank really bonded as far as on the stand-up comedy when we was in Memphis.
Yeah.
And one of the things I liked is that a lot of comics don't know that in Hollywood, when you're before an agent, you only perform in front of two people.
Yeah.
And when you're doing the agents and stuff, for real, they when I had to go to the Queen Mary, it was only in front of two people.
Yeah.
And they expect you to do your set. Even when they
Right.
got me on Last Comic Standing,
Yeah.
NBC gave me a contract this thick, bro, to tell me you aren't going to make it on the show. But I had a private invite. I'm looking at thousands of people lined up outside, right? Bill Bellamy was going around. He was shorter than what I thought. I used to be thought he was real tall.
Me too.
Yeah, he's not as tall as I thought. But they had brought me. They tried to get me to go to New York. Then they brought me, tried to get me to go to Texas. I ended up going to Tempe, Arizona. And I just got to sleep I slept in the car with some other comics. They had to stand out line, outside, which is nothing but a party to them. When I get in there, and what I didn't like is to be measured by other comedians. So
Right.
it was already part of the contract that I'm not going to make it. So it was the two comics voted for me. Yeah, the one white lady said no.
Right.
And I'm looking at her, and I do not know who she is to this day, for real. And so then after that, I started featuring for these Last Comic Standing, like April Macy and Sean Moss, and tearing the stage up.
Right.
It
Right.
was hard for them to come behind me.
Yes, sir.
That's why they made me a headliner.
Yeah.
I make it hard for another headliner. I look at it like, okay, you want to have him come on behind me? Oh, I'm Curly Dub. Okay. I sure do. I do it on purpose and stuff. So, like, prove that I ain't the person, But me and Big Hank had a small crowd in Memphis, and we tore it up where people's like, hey, we would love to have y'all back. That's what they said. But let's get into the subject, Mo, because we got to get into the sports. Cynthia's had a health situation she was going to talk about. But today's news is there was a brother who went to the police that he was being stalked by some white guys. He calls his mother while these three cars is chasing him. Well, when they find him, he was lost, missing for 2 weeks. When they find him, half his head is cut off. For real. Now I want to bring this. I'm gonna share the screen with
half his head is cut off.
Yeah.
What the
Black man was found dead after he told his mother he was being chased. I don't know what's going on. Police said there's no reason to suspect foul play.
No reason to suspect foul play. His head just fell off by itself.
Now, this is the article that came out.
Half his head just fell off by itself.
And now I got the pictures. I got the pictures, and he was a good student, and I got the pictures, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to show the pictures. But what I did do is the cover of our show, you seen it was a skull with half the head cut off. Ben Crump has the picture. Now, I didn't ask their family permission to show those pictures, and they're really gross. Half his head, when I say half his head, is cut off, bro. Clean. Now, he went to the police department to state that he's being stalked and chased. You know, they have these cockamamie stories of, well, until we actually know you're in chase, who you do, can you identify him? So he calls his mother. When you don't have nowhere else. It gets me is most of the high percentage of our society gets to talk about gun control and gun rights and everything, but blacks seem to can't even reach for a cell phone, let alone have a gun without being shot. It's always question about, do we have a weapon on us?
That's true. That's true. Very true. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I've noticed why I brought up this attack is because it seems like these guys or these you got these groups that pursues on. We was just talking about Thursday about femicide, about when women are being murdered for being women. But countless of years, we're ending up with situations like Emmett Till. Now, Emmett Till was snatched out of his grandparents' house, which apparently didn't have no weapons. Now, this young guy went to the police. Police say, we can't do nothing for you. Now, he has to call his mother, saying 3 carloads of white guys are chasing. Now, when he's found, they're saying is, oh, we're trying to put together. How hard does it take to find 3 carloads of white guys?
I don't get it.
How many black guys are in prison for a crime they did not commit? And that was one individual. So easy to catch them.
Yeah.
But we can't catch 3 carloads of dudes.
Right.
We need Sidney Poitier down there. We need a revised Rose of In the Heat of the Night, because this was in Mississippi.
That nigga said, yeah. Yeah, we need to do something. Cleavon Little, somebody, we need to get somebody down there.
You feel me?
Yeah, somebody need to get down there and handle some business, man.
Yeah, well,
Cleavon Little will come ride on his horse and come get somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Benjamin Crump is down there.
Yeah.
And I feel for Benjamin Crump because, people say, oh, he's always publicity. Look here, you got a situation that happened in your family. Benjamin Crump picture alone brings attention.
Yes, sir.
He ain't messing with nothing unless he really finds that this is bogus.
Yeah, he ain't playing around.
Now, how do you feel? You find you get one of your kids, they call you back, and they calling you and saying, Dad, I'm getting chased by these white guys. And you probably tell them, hey, look here, get to the police. I went to the police station. And so we'll try to get away. Next you don't hear from them until 2 weeks later, and then you find out half their head been cut off.
He did. It's a cold game, man. That's a cold game.
Now, when you took off half the head, did they take the brain too? Because his head looked like it was drills, that drill saw.
A saw.
It looked like it was a saw drill.
Dang.
Hey, Dane. And that's the thing that was funny, tripping to me. It was like it was a clean cut. Like, did they lay him on one of them power saws and And the guy stated it was 3 carloads of people. He down in Mississippi. Now, when I hear this type of stuff, I'm gonna be honest. When I hear this type of stuff, I think about when I was a kid. I was always watching Charles Bronson movies. Death Wish, because you done mess with his family, his wife, his daughter, and then he going to eradicate the whole gang. Steven Seagal, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. I'm naming countless movies where they always have revenge tips.
Yeah.
Dean said, when was this? I don't catch the news. Well, it just came out yesterday of him being discovered with half his head cut off. He went to the police department. Those who just came in like Dean, he went to the police department to state that he's being stalked. They didn't do nothing. Now, he gets back in the car. He's being pursued by 3 cars of white guys. He calls his mother and said, hey, I'm being chased by these guys. They throwing F-flits at him and everything. Went to the police. And next thing you know, he's found dead with half his head cut off.
Now, Roy, was he walking? Was he in a car? What
he
the
was
heck
in a
happened?
car that make it seem like he was in a car.
Okay.
And they was following him, 3 carloads. Now that's where it gets spooky, because did they wreck him?
Right.
Did they push his car aside? Because
where his car at now?
No, they didn't state. But the police now saying it's an investigation. Wait a minute. When did it become an investigation? After the man's head is cut off, after he came to you and said, hey man, I'm being pursued.
Yeah, they stalking me.
Yeah.
Cold game, man.
And what gets me is when and it's a shame, but this was going on since I was a kid. You don't walk to the store by yourself. You have to walk in a group. We used to go to school. They tell us to walk in a group. Don't walk by yourself. And here it is. This is 23 years in the 21st century, and we got some barbaric stuff. And now you telling me you got to do an investigation to find 3 carloads of guys. But what bothers me is when I see so many black men in prison for a crime they didn't commit, when it's one individual. But we got 3 carloads of guys, and you got to put in an investigation because you have no idea.
Wow. Man, I'm kind of first of all, that's a daggone shame what happened to him, man, and that should never happen to anybody, black, white, or brown.
Yeah.
But I'd have rolled over your house, Roy. I'd have rolled over if it was me and they were chasing me. I'd have rolled over your house, my homeboy house. Somebody I know got a heater or something. I mean, I'd have tried to get there.
I'm wondering if was he in the area, because if you've been down to Mississippi, I went down there to visit Christina.
I've been there before.
And it was like there's some distance. Like I drove from Memphis to Mississippi, Clarksville, Mississippi. And I lie you not, man, there's a stretch of freeway that goes a complete hour with no type of change of direction. There's no hill, no curve. It was just straight, and it was dark. And I was like, man, you get sleepy and stuff or something, right? So I don't know, and I'm gonna dig into the research because I'm always going by what routes did they go and all that. But down there in Mississippi, they got a lot of rural areas instead of being in the city like we are.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Them backwoods ain't no joke back there.
Exactly.
Ain't no joke.
That, but my thing is also now when I think about it, he said 3 carloads of white guys. Now, to me, this is a hunting party. And guys know when they go hunting, they go on a group. Mm-hmm. You gotta wear certain colors because you don't want to be like when President George Bush, Vice President, whatever his name is, Dick Cheney,
shot his partner
in the face.
Bumbling. The Three Stooges. They was like the Three Stooges out there.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Like he shoot dude in the face. Time I thought you was a quail. He said, "My name ain't no Dan Quail." But they supposed to wear certain guards. I don't know how lucky dude had little pellets and stuff because it could have took his head off. But my thing is, it just sounded like a hunting party.
That's exactly what it was.
And so now you're a serial killer. It's a group of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Legion of demons. Call you legions. For real.
Yeah, that's what they are, demons.
We're looking at like 10 guys. And that's what I'm thinking. 3 carloads of guys, you know.
Yeah.
Dean said bird shot outside of 30 yards and is that powerful. Yeah, but I was just thinking hypostatus. What if it was the real bullets and stuff? You know what I'm saying? You don't recognize a human from a bird. But these people are actually hunting. This is why I had to bring in this story. It's not like an isolated incident. The dude did not have no enemies where he walked in like Eddie Murphy in the bar in 48 hours and played like he was a cop.
Right.
He went to the police. Now I'm thinking that the police have something to do with it.
Or they know who it is because just all of a sudden 12 dudes is riding around or 10 dudes. They didn't did that before. Ain't their first time.
Did that before.
Ain't their first time.
Just like how the police gonna put out a warning to blacks about sundown areas in Texas and Georgia and stuff. What you mean sundown areas? You know what that means, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Those who's unaware, cities that's called sundowns is stating that a black can't be driving at this particular side of town when the sun is down.
When the sun go down, you better have your butt at home when the sun go down.
Or you face the circumstances out there like it's a boogeyman and stuff like that. But then they don't talk about, I want to bring this up in history. It started back in the day. So media do not talk about like the Rough Riders. A lot of people don't know what the Rough Riders, and they try to associate it with cowboys. Rough Riders was a group of ex-black slaves that was fought in the Civil War that didn't go with that KKK mess. They went and put it on them.
Mm-hmm.
I found out some history on some stuff. But if you didn't be in the Navy, you know how like someone's prideful and stuff like, well, we were keeping our cabin over here on this hill. Well, you ain't going to be around the protection of all of us. They catch you slipping, that's your ass, Charlie. And next thing you know, you feel me? Because if anybody's not aware, I read, you know, I like reading a lot of stuff. I read the Willie Lynch theory. And anybody understand what the Willie Lynch, that's why they called it lynching. And Willie Lynch theory was the most, how they say, one of the most horrific display of using psychological warfare against your own neighbors.
Horrific and grotesque.
Horrific and grotesque. Psychological layout of, it was a layout for psychological warfare to your neighbors. When I read that, I'm like, wow, anybody associated with Willie Lynch needs to be evaluated, mentioned, because it's one of the most grotesque, most horrific layout of a psychological warfare. When they tell you, when it states in it, kill babies in mama's arms, this is acts of fear. killed fathers in front of the whole family, snatch babies out of mother's arms and strangle her neck in front of the kids that is able to carry this through. So you breaking them at the same time. That is a demonic psychological warfare. Read it for yourself. I tell anybody, look it up. Look it up. That's why they called it lynchings. It was named after Willie Lynch. Just like something else, you'll never hear me say picnic. I want to school some people on this. Picnic is a derogatory term that little toddlers that was 1 and 2 years old couldn't comprehend the logic of what the words was being said. They just knew that when they had this picnic, it was going to be a lot of food. Everybody's laughing. The little kids get candy, stuff like that. Like Little House on the Prairie, they had because they got a caramel apple on a stick and all this stuff. And Mary Lou made the caramel candy strips. So it's a festive situation. But what picnic was is that it was a short terminology for called pick a nigga. That's what it was called. And the little kids didn't know no better. So they were like, yay, picnic. But they didn't really realize, the kids didn't realize of all the blacks that are hanging from tree limbs because they're enacting the Willie Lynch theories of psychological warfare on our neighbors. Now, I'm just being honest. If I'm wrong, Big Hank, you know this stuff.
You hit the nail on the head. The little kids, they wasn't saying pick a nigga. They couldn't, you know how when you little, you can't say they just pick a nick, pick a nick, pick a, you know, when you little, that's what, yeah, you know, so they didn't say pick a nigga because they was young and, you know, but yeah, I got and you, man. I read that before. Yes, sir.
And anybody who thinks it's one of the things we pride ourselves is that, you know, we face the truth. We're not accusing anybody because a lot of this words and Willie Lynch was way beyond, it's around the Civil War time. Now, people got things and they keep standards up, but I'm going to tell you what some friends of mine said. These some of my white friends, my white neighbors and friends, and, you know, because I got some guys who are friends, whites, blacks, Latinos, and they said it's amazing to their family how blacks didn't retaliate. I read on some stuff about it happened after the Civil War. When the Civil War ended, the turn back your guns was honored except for the Buffalo Soldiers, which was used to, because I didn't know that most of the Native Americans, a lot of Native Americans fought with the Confederates in the Civil War. A lot of people didn't know that. Dean said that they used to celebrate public hangings of all people. It was to deter crime. Yes, but you can't be too much of a criminal when you already, you know, this was something that they would pick out. They would try to find someone, Dean, an isolated black and catch them. My grandparents grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana, and my grandfather was to tell me some horrific stories, but they wouldn't tell the whole get downs. Now we're talking about all the way up to modern. We're talking about 2023. Here's a guy with half his head cut off after he ran for help. There's nothing that he did. He wasn't a criminal. He was an A student. He's scared. Now, because obviously he didn't have no gun.
Obviously.
He didn't have no gun. Now, if you're in this situation, Big Hank, do we fear of going to jail? Or do you feel where I'm gonna deal with this and deal with the circumstances after it? Because I got 3 carloads of dudes coming at me.
Man, the way I'm gonna handle it, like I said, man, I would have been, I'd have came to your house or my homeboy house that I know got some heat, and I would have handled it like that. I know, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I've never been in that situation, so I'm just going by how I feel now. But during the heat of the moment, I don't know what I would do. What I would do, 3 carloads of bugs trying to run me down. I know they wasn't just riding on the side of him. I know they probably was trying to run him down, scare him off the road, and all that other kind of stuff. So I don't know. But I know what I would have did is I would have got to somewhere where I would have had some heat. I could go to my daddy's house. My daddy got I ain't finna say no more. I'm gonna leave that alone too. I'm gonna leave that alone too, man.
Yeah, and Dean, he said all I'm saying is it wasn't just blacks. Hangings happen all the time. They hung people for cattle rustling and stealing horses. Yes, Dean, that part is true. But the hangings of blacks was based on psychological warfare against blacks, which was to enhance fear. How do you control people? With fear.
Yeah, that was during the slavery days.
Yes, and after.
After too, after too.
Yeah. Anybody, I would tell them to read the Willie Lynch manuscript, and you will see that it was, matter of fact, it's used to this day. It's
now he's correct, because you can look in the Bible, they was hanging people on trees, you know what I mean? So of course, but we talking about on us. That's what we talking about.
Especially if the person is doing a crime. These cattle rustling and stealing horses, that's a crime.
Yeah.
You're saying like we're saying, he said those were done by slave owner KKK, neither I agree with or were legal. That part, that's what we're saying.
That's all we're saying, man. That's all we're saying
to them, because that's a warfare set up to bring chaos and fear to some people who's just like, hey, we're just trying to make it. I tell anybody,
barely making it.
Yeah, watch the movie. Go back and watch the movie Buck and the Preacher with Sidney Poitier, and that's the best story.
That's one of my favorites, man. Richard Pryor.
It's one of the best. No, not Richard Pryor wasn't in that one. Buck and the Preacher, Sidney Poitier, and
Cleavon Little.
Not Cleavon Little, but the one brother. Talk with that raspy voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'll pop up. But Cleavon Little was he played in Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, yeah.
And then Richard Pryor was in some other movies with he played as
I thought he was a preacher in Buck and no, he wasn't a preacher.
No, the preacher was the one guy, I forgot. He used to be a singer too, or something like that.
Okay.
But Richard Pryor, only role I've seen him with Sidney Poitier was when he played a private investigator on Uptown Saturday Night. Yeah, that right there. But if anybody was to watch Buck and the Preacher, it's one of the most influential movies to give you an understanding of what blacks was going through after the Civil War. We ain't even talk about that punch bowl. The Devil's Punch Bowl down there where they got weeds, about 40,000 blacks was killed there, right after the Civil War. But, and like you said, Big Hank, you wouldn't wish that on nobody.
No.
You get your head cut off. I'm hoping that justice comes and we know that there's more. They better not just arrest 1 or 2 when this boy specifies on his last call, there's 3 carloads. 3 carloads means prior, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Richard Pryor was one of the writers on Blazing Saddles. He sure was.
Mm-hmm.
I always tease about the part where they was trying to infiltrate to get to the main enemy guy, and he was having an audition for all the bad guys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
and Gene Wilder is holding Cleavon Little. And the KKK is back, and he said, "Where are all the white women?" The KKK chased him there to get beat up and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Big Hank.
Yes, sir.
I told you. I want everybody to know. I said this, that Raiders would do good with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
I stated that, y'all, about 3 or 4 months ago. Because they was asking me who was out there, and I said Jimmy G.
Okay.
Jimmy G signed with the Raiders for a 3-year contract.
All right, man. But I'm saying this, man. I think the Raiders settled. I think they just settled because you got Aaron Rodgers out there, you got Lamar Jackson out there. I didn't hear about him going after them, but I'm not a Jimmy Garoppolo fan. You dig what I'm saying? Everywhere he go, man, I see him. He always come up short in the big games. No,
man. What it was is that that's why they brought him, because in New England he had stepped up, but he was under the rookie contract, and they thought that they seen more in Josh than they did with Jimmy. So they sent Jimmy to San Francisco. The only thing that happened with Jimmy is he's doing like Barry Sanders was going through in Detroit. No offensive line. Mm-hmm. Jimmy would hit the ball. Look, he wasn't supposed to play for San Francisco this past season.
I remember, man. I remember all that.
Trade that man. So next thing you know, he said, okay, they restructured his contract. I'm going to just play as a backup.
And then boy got hurt.
Wait a minute. No, he won 6 games. He won 6 games in a row. The thing was, they was paying him only $350 per game. Okay, now, you remember why they set Carr down for the last 2 games? You can't get him hurt and try to get a deal for him. Mm-hmm. If he's hurt, and now your stock goes down. Jimmy tried to play him. As soon as he was like, hey, they was just talking about reconstructing his contract because he was playing $350 a game and he's winning the games. He don't want to be there. He know they don't want him there. Right. Everybody wants to be somewhere they want to be wanted. That's how I felt.
And that's a good way to feel. And then you also got to look at it from the Raiders' point of view, man. They ain't made the playoffs in a minute. Garoppolo stay in the playoff. He always get his team to the playoff. You know what I'm saying? So
he can't get to the Super Bowl. He has to get to the Super Bowl, but at least get to the playoffs.
At least get to the playoffs. So that's why I said they settled. That's the only reason I said they settled. But it's all good. It's all good. I wish him the best. That's my team, man. I'm a Raider. Come on, man. I mess with the Rams and I mess with the Raiders. That's it. Those are the only 2 teams I mess with. I don't pull for no other team but the Rams and the Raiders, man. That's it.
And I'm true to Raiders. We couldn't get Lamar Ball because they put the franchise tag on him in Baltimore. And if anybody, I would think that we would be interested in getting Bryce Young and stuff and let him be on the sideline. It'll be a wonderful quarterback to learn. Bryce Young.
Yeah, he kind of small. He kind of small, but he cool. But he cool. They got that other black. They got that other black quarterback that's a monster. He look like what's his name did back in the day. What's the boy play for the Panthers?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. They saying he like Cam Newton. I forgot his name. Yeah, he a big old monster.
Yeah, he's buff too. He'll be a nice candidate too. He like he can just take a tackle and be like,
he ran over he ran over everybody in college. He was jumping over niggas, running over. He was ball.
Josh Allen on him because Josh Allen.
Josh Allen a monster. Josh Allen a monster over there in Buffalo. You're right.
Yeah. Now, what's up with your basketball, man?
Man, look, with the Lakers, man, and hey, I'm gonna say this about your Clippers, man. I saw Kawhi play the other day.
Balling.
I saw him ball. I saw him ball out. Man. And I think they won their last 3 games or something like that. I'm not sure.
They got the chemistry.
I'm not sure. So they coming along. The Lakers be struggling, man. We just
Hey man, I just want to know what happened to your man. I call him what you call him, Street Clothes Davis.
Street Clothes.
He was good the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, man, but he disappeared.
On Russell.
D'Angelo Russell, a monster. That's who. Listen, man, D'Angelo Russell is playing like Westbrook, like the Lakers thought Westbrook was gonna play. That's how D'Angelo Russell.
See, it's hard to judge it though because LeBron demands the ball in his hand all the time. LeBron is hurt. Russell had the ball in his hand almost 70%,
Well, that's what they brought him there for, man. LeBron, you ain't the point guard. You ain't no point forward, point guard.
Ball in his hand. He
ain't gonna have it no more. We ain't gonna have it no more. D'Angelo Russell, that's your job.
I don't
now
know.
get them catch the ball, man.
Strong enough to tell.
Get them catch the ball, man.
I don't think Ham is strong enough to tell LeBron I want the ball in Russell's hands.
Man, put the ball in Russell's hands, man. Let him do his job, man.
I don't know, man, because that's what they should have did with Westbrook. Leave the ball in his hand.
Yeah, but he can't take care of the ball. He can't take care of the ball. He throw the ball into everybody's hands. Shit, we don't need that.
He's playing the point guard, though. You know, LeBron wants the ball in his hand. Every time I looked up, he give me the ball. He get a half court on the corner because he may shoot a 3-pointer at the corners, you know. And so I just think that now I will say Golden State is peaking right now because Klay Thompson is Klay Thompson is shooting threes and talking shit. Talking to, and you can't do nothing about it. Because he drive, I watch him. He had his defender so off balance.
Man,
he'll drive on you, and so you don't know if he's gonna drive or just step back.
Man. Last night he was dancing on them cats. Last night he was hitting for everywhere, shooting off 1 foot. He was shooting off 1 foot.
That's why it's interesting to see this coming Wednesday, the Clippers versus Golden State.
Okay,
I have to see that game because we're tied right now.
I think the Lakers play them tonight. I'm not sure. I don't know who the Lakers play, but I think
Lakers. I think their next game is against New Orleans.
It's Tuesday. Whoever they play tonight, it's Tuesday night. They got to play somebody.
Because we play Golden State wins because Golden State went down to Phoenix and gave them a butt whooping.
The Blues and Chris Paul had about 8 points maybe.
You know why his point total came down? Because he's not allowed to kick when he shoots. All the time. He used to be able to, every time he shoot, he kicking you in your nuts. He ain't allowed to do that no more. For real. And okay. So and it's even now. Mention basketball. Big Hank.
Who?
I filled out my NCAA tournament. Third grade. Yeah. Right. And but not I've always had my paper one, but now with ESPN you win so much amount of money. I'm constant. So one of the things I find fascinating in the bracket is that don't think because someone is ranked 1 or 3 can beat 12 or 14.
Yeah, because in college is different.
College is different. This is just Smitty looking because you don't know the heart of another person and you execute, and it's win, go home. That's what makes the NCAA tournament. You start with 68 teams. The 4 is trying to get in. There's 4 that's trying to get in the 64 tournament.
Who'd you pick? Who's the 4 that you pick?
Well, I got the champion I got. Where's my phone? I got on my phone.
Who you got to pick? You know you picked who you got.
I picked UCLA. I didn't pick on the other ones and stuff. I don't know who, but I picked UCLA winning the whole thing.
Okay.
You know why? I looked at it. You know, only problems give now Purdue is looking good.
Purdue got the big man. He got the big Oriental. Oriental.
One of the things that hurts the big man.
Yeah.
You run it at him.
Yes, sir.
You run it at him. Foul trouble.
Yes, sir.
You take it to him. Don't run from him. You take it to him.
But if you ain't got no big man, they big man gonna dog whoever you are. If you ain't got no big man,
small guard, you gotta run them.
Shoot, we gonna take our time and give it to big man down low. Why? Because you got somebody 6'7" trying to guard somebody 7'4". It ain't gonna happen.
But I was saying it like, how would you play against them? How would you have your team doing?
Man, I got a front and back play the big man. I got to have somebody in front of him and somebody behind him.
But I think on the offense, you run it. You don't let them slow down.
Of course.
Run it. Run set plays when he's sitting on the bench. When he gets off the bench, you run it.
Anytime you got some big dudes and some little dudes, the little dudes supposed to be flying by the big dudes. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what I think, because somebody beat them the other night with that. They didn't win their division championship.
No, this year they did. Purdue did.
No, I thought they lost.
No, I watched the game. They won. They won. The big man said, "This our first year winning it." He said, "This our first year winning it. We lost it last year. This our first year winning it."
Probably they won. UCLA lost to Arizona State. That tripped me out.
Cold. Now that's cold. That's because just like you said, you can't judge the heart.
Exactly.
In college.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that loss though ignited UCLA's team, because I looked at them and they match up with anybody.
Yeah. Now I always look at the North Carolinas and the Dukes all the time. Somebody gonna be there, one of them.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Duke was surprised to win the ACC championship. A lot of people were surprised at that, since Mike Scorsese isn't there anymore.
And then Patrick Ewing just quit. I think he quit over there at Georgetown. They just hired somebody else.
Because they were too proud to fire him. They should have just called me. I would have fired him. Quick, fast, in a hurry. You are doing a horrible job. You are doing a terrible, as horrible as. I wanted to fire him last season. The most horriblest job.
Oh my God. Hey, and Jim Boeheim retired.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy, man. 47 years. 47 years, man. And they always was there. Syracuse always was there.
You think Syracuse, you always think Jim Boeheim.
Jim Boeheim, yes, sir. Every time with the glasses.
You always think of him,
Look, he used to be in there coaching. His glasses used to be steaming up and like, man, he take the glasses off. Oh man, that was crazy.
When I was a kid, I used to love when Duke went against Temple. The Owl man, Mr. Dodds, hey, he didn't like it. Boy, there was some extraordinary battles in, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not shy to call it out neither. Patrick Ewing should have been fired. I'm glad he quit and saved dignity, because he would have been fired if I was out. How you gonna be 2-20?
God, dog.
You had the nerves to play on CBS 3 Saturdays ago. I was mad in the world. What the world you taking up this space?
Hey, man, before we go, man, I wanted to get back on I heard it was a couple trades in football. I heard Jalen Ramsey got traded from the Rams.
Yes.
And I heard Eckler from the Chargers is trying to get traded, man. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Eckler, the running back.
Yeah, wait a minute. Mentioning that, I was surprised that we lost the backup quarterback that stood in. He did pretty good for Raiders. He got traded to be a backup for Denver, I think.
Somebody picked him up, huh?
Yeah, a 3-year backup deal.
Yeah.
For real.
That's right.
I'm like, why he couldn't have been a backup here? But yeah, bro.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. I don't know what the Rams doing. Jalen Ramsey, man. He supposed to be one of the best in the league.
Yeah, hey. Well, you know what? I felt that's what happened before, because they sure had a buzz. How you gonna be a Super Bowl winner to where you don't make the playoffs the next year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then the boy hurt his spine. What's the quarterback?
I'm the one who with the pizza commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. He hurt his spine. That's why they stopped playing. They didn't play him like the last 6-7 games.
How in the world he do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
4-wheelers and stuff. Because I used to be concerned with Chris Kaman when he was playing for the Clippers. He'd go back home and be riding them 4-wheelers across the rugged terrains and stuff. I'm like, man, you got a game coming up, bro. Yeah. Hey, man, so before we get off here, we got a couple more minutes to go. What's up with your boxing, man?
Man, I ain't heard nothing. What Devontae Davis doing? I ain't heard nothing.
Well, he's getting ready to fight Ryan Garcia, they saying, basically up in April.
Right. I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that.
Working with PBC. But the boy Tasu from Australia.
Tasu?
Yeah, I think it's Tasu. His Constant Tasu's son was supposed to fight Jermell Charlo.
Okay.
But Jermell got hurt, somehow broke a hand. which I'm gonna put a pin to there about them boxers between Jamal, and Earl Spence, because them champions that you never seen fighting. I'm like,
No.
bro, can you keep the belt so long without having a fight? And stuff for real. It's like 2 years. I'm not into the seesaw saying and all that. I see a lot of these guys who loves boxing, they go back and forth with each other. I don't have to go on that. I go by facts. I love to see men, especially black men, winning anyway in the ring. You know, you win if you lose, and you win because you get a paycheck and you're doing something. Because I know a lot of guys who fighting for free out in these streets. So you get paid, cool and dandy. But I seen Tasu, who was supposed to fight Jermell Charlo, and Jermell Charlo hurt his hand, broke his hand, some bones in his hand. So he took on the guy who beat Jermell Charlo one time and then lost back to him in Harrison, right? Well, Harrison went down there, and it's the media who's looking at Tasu's past opponents. And this is something I can't stand when I hear it say, oh, who he fought? He ain't fought nobody. Yeah, he fought somebody, because you can't get into that ring unless the other person is willing to fight you, and he's got to be qualified just as well.
Yeah.
So he fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just knew that Tasu was going to get knocked out because Harrison has been the man. He beat Charlo, who Charlo has all 4 belts. And I'm getting to a point. Dude knocked Harrison out in the 9th round. It was so bad, Hank, that I'm calling for the refs to stop. But I'm gonna found there's so many other people. I got some videos I'm gonna show Thursday. This one commentator. We screaming at the ref. The dude started beating Harrison so bad that his head is like this, and dude just bap. I mean, wide open uppercuts and everything. The dude just out. He's basically out on his feet. The ref
Gotta be.
Put a statement on him.
Gotta be.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Charlo fight this dude. Some of these champions sometimes, like now, I'm a Crawford. I'm a Terrence Crawford fan.
Terrence Crawford, I know it.
I'm a big fan of his because ever since the time when he went to England, nobody in America was really backing him or whatever to fight Ricky Barnes in his backyard and took his 135-pound belt. I said, that's a cold dude right there. Then when he fought Gamboa. Gamboa was knocking everybody out. And he fought Gamboa, and Gamboa stung Terrence a couple of times. But what I like is that Terrence would take a lick. He's like, ooh, you trying to get me out of here. Pick up the steam.
Yeah, let me quit playing around.
Yeah. Before we get off, what you think about the box? Oh, there's a couple of questions I want to ask you before we got a couple of minutes. What you think about the boxers from Russia? Should they be given a chance? It ain't their fault that they're in war with Ukraine.
Yeah, man, shoot, they ain't got nothing. They ain't coming over here with no guns, arm, war tactics. They trying to make a living. Of course, I think they should fight.
Let them fight. Yeah. Now, second is, I know, and I was going to bring this up Thursday about the young brother Miller who plays for Alabama University. He was in a situation where one of his acquaintances had put his gun in Miller's car. Miller was down there with some other, a lot of other students and stuff. The guy got his gun out of Miller's car. Miller didn't do nothing. They ended up shooting. The girl got killed. And a lot of people came down on Miller, like, why does he get to be on the program? He didn't do nothing. I want you to look it up. Anybody, we're going to get on that subject this Thursday. The young guy Miller was playing for Alabama University.
I remember, I'm the one I brought it up. Remember, I brought that subject up. Yeah.
I think that he should play, but some people saying that he shouldn't and all that. But I think that's a personal situation. And so,
they out there playing with guns, man. I'm not sure. Like you said, a dude put his gun in the car, and then I drove it over there. You called me and told me to drive it over there. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's if he's in collusion with the cat or not. But the law tell it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. They arrested the girl's boyfriend though, because it does have video showing that he shot first.
Yeah, it
He
is.
shot him from the back seat, and the dude fell down, got shot in the shoulder, and so that's the initial reaction. But anyway, man, I'm Roy Anthony. This is Big Hank. Cynthia Joi had aquatic therapy today. We want to see justice for this young man who got his head cut off.
Yes, please.
Cut off.
And we're praying for his family. Yeah, praying for his family, man.
Reach out to Benjamin Crump if you do have any information in these cases, because he is there trying to find that, or your police department. We're out of here. God bless. See y'all Thursday.
God bless.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and
Every
Friends Show.
Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all
Hey,
tap in.
is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey,